Here we go. All right, so I can't, all right, maybe I can actually make a comment here. Let's see. Top chat, none. Live chat. All messages visible. It won't let me make a comment, of course. On my own, there's that. It's difficult, people. This is not the easiest thing to do in the world. I want to show you something before I kill my lights, though. You got to see this. This is pretty cool. I keep seeing the number 111. I've told you people this. And then what I do, I pull up. I'm just looking for a place on the street, and I'm behind this guy, right? So I'm not going to abort this connection. By the way, I'm keeping this connection. I found it, but you see where I'm at, people? I'm telling you, I see signs and numbers all the time. So yeah, and this is a really rough road. You'd think there was a cop behind me or something, but it's just his bumping headlights, and it's me and about, well, and that guy, and that guy, and every other truck, right? Every other truck here, just chilling. We're all low-key homeless, right? We're just chilling, taking up the road. It's one of the things where I could go to a truck stop. I needed a spot. Sometimes you just need a spot. This thing went into regen. I didn't have any choice in the matter. It kind of put me sitting there, and I was like, I'm gonna go live, but I didn't want the noise from the regen to mess up my live. So I figured I would show you people this though, and this is coming from the I have to see if it's, I want to say it was what, northwest going to southeast was the moon, but so check this out. This is our problem tonight. I can feel the energy tingling on my hands. It's so strong. This is the second moon this month. That's why they call it a blue moon, because it's once in a blue moon that happens. Sorry, I need some water. That regen too. So we're gonna turn our burners on. All right. Roll this up. All right. So everybody, welcome to my world. This is where I'm at right at the moment. I'm gonna roll that window down there so I get fresh air. It's been hot. I don't have to tell y'all that. So I had a steak earlier. Don't click like. I just got here. I ain't even done nothing yet. I appreciate the like. So I've been working a lot. I've buried myself in my work, and I'm going to be working just in a bit here. I got a 5-hour deadhead, 18-hour load. I mean, I'm booked solid. Booked. I got work like, whew, I wish I could tell you, but I'm trying to get things caught up, trying to get some savings up, and I don't know. I need a couple $100,000. Anybody got a couple $100,000 I can borrow? No, I'm saving up to so I get to the point where I have a couple $100,000 and can build a house. And it's going to take a while, but it's got good bones, people. It's got good bones. We got a good start. So, I've been working on me, you know, and this moon affects me also. So I put it out because I have noticed a marked effect in people today, like crazy. I'm trying to, like, I'm in the door, right, and I'm delivering, and then they give me the telephone call, and you go back and you check your text. You didn't get no text, but you got the phone call, and they're like, okay, you're ready, we need you to come in and get your paperwork. Okay, get your paperwork. But of course, it's one of those situations where you had to drop the trailer or slide the axles, back it up, drop the trailer, put it in the door, pull out away from it, all this garbage. Then you got to hook back up. It's 100-something freaking degrees in Texas, man. You know what I'm saying? look, and then you like, okay, then you gotta do the same thing, hook up and all that after you done walked a half a mile to get your paperwork. So I'm fine with it. I do it. It's my job. But I'm just telling y'all, this is the point in your day where you're like, man, this is the this is the sucktastic part of your day. And there's all these other drivers that are there too. And then you go to pull out, they get the red light on you. They give you a call saying, we need that door, we need you to pull out. I'm like, I need y'all to turn the red light off. Oh, well, how come you didn't call us? It's like, oh, seriously, like you got me, I got to call you to do your job now. So they had a attitude. That's gaslighting. That's enough to make you kind of want to be upset, right? So you don't want to do that. So then, moving forward from that, you got people, and now I got people with their headlights coming up behind me. I'm fixing to turn my mirrors down. That's what I do, because light is an issue too. Why is it not going to work right now? Come on now, Chica. There you go, stupid mirror. Turn both my mirrors down. We're hermiting right now. I'm in hermit mode. I've been doing that for a good hot minute. I'm good at that. So, you got all this people. Man, now I'm getting light pollution from the front. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he's gonna turn. He don't even know where he's at. He's gonna turn or something. Seriously, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, turn your lights off. And you try to look at your lights if you're gonna sit there, bro. Stupid. See, this is what I'm dealing with. You can't even park at the end of the line, at the back of the road, in the middle of nowhere, without somebody doing what they were doing to do, and then you deal with lights. You see how bright all this is? And now I got a train. How did I get a train? Y'all hearing this? I'm trying to knock out of my truck. So, sitting still, we're pouting, we're chilling, because I ain't even trying to get on the road right now. I've been here a good hot minute. See what I'm saying? I can't even roll down the window and then there's a train. That's just confirmation. Devil messing with me every day. So, back to what I was saying, I go to pull out of the door after I've hooked up, and the other guy's fine with it. He's getting in the door, but he's fine with it. He's fine, right? But the yard man blocks me from backing up and sliding my axles by pulling his yard dog behind me. I'm like, I get back out of my truck. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I need to slide my axles. Oh, gives me the arrow or the hand gesture, moving up to pull up to do that, or pull. I'm like, Jesus, man. So I go to pull into a parking spot. Another truck, a guy from India, comes whipping out of his door and blocks my way of trying to back into a parking spot. I can't even get into a parking spot. So I'm on the road. The road here is my friend, because ain't nobody gonna make me move from this spot. Now though, they're turning on outside ball field lights up ahead of me. I got a train on my right. I got trucks coming by with their lights on. Don't know where they're going. They're rolling slow, creeping the neighborhood, acting silly, and freaking aim. It's like round the block once, don't come back. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at on it. So anyway, we're trying to listen to chill. We're trying to chill, people. But you see how the moon is affecting me too? I'm telling you honestly, it's affecting everybody. I can feel the energy on the back of my hand. So what it is the people who are the descendants of the angels are affected by it, because the Obla type makes them like that. Angels are supposed to be in the light of God. We are not. And then you have the sunlight, and then you get this extra moonlight, and it's as if, say the power company is sending power to your house and you're making light toast. And you get the toaster there on the counter, and every morning you put toast in, it's light toast. And then they send in more power. And you're like, right? That's that extra energy, and it's burning your toast. And then you adjust it. And then all of a sudden they cut off the power, and it's right? And I'm gonna go further. There's a truck behind me with his lights on, probably gonna come up and talk to me and ask me a stupid question about where he needs to go. Why? Because I attract it. And why? It's because it's the full moon and things messing with me. So back to what I was saying is, you're gonna be affected by the moonlight, especially if you're the O blood type. It's gonna make you a little bit on edge. You're gonna watch other people be on edge. Don't fight with them. Just see what's going on. Be aware of the situation. Be apprised of the situation. It's gonna happen all night tonight. So don't matter if you're driving at night. Don't matter if you're sitting still at night. You're inside of a house, but you got windows. You're still getting the energy. It don't matter. It comes through the walls. People, The energy is too much. It's the second moon, which makes it odd. It's a blue moon, they call it that, right? And it's a supermoon, so it's a full moon. And this is the second time you've had to deal with it this month. And that's where you're like, didn't I deal with this energy before? You're dealing with it again. So if anyone wants to say anything, you can go ahead and make a comment. We'll talk about whatever topic you can think of. And then, in the interim, entertainment purposes only, I have no detailed files, intel reports, or otherwise intel, but maybe we do. On AI, we'll talk about that for a minute. You need to be aware that they've released, let's call it a computer virus, because technically that's what it is. Anything that writes itself and does things other than the original program is a virus. So you have a Trojan horse within the system, which is how Troy fell, right? The great city of Troy couldn't be hurt because it had big walls, right? They got inside there. So, diversionary subterfuge. We have that in the form of AI. Now, AI's main goal is going to be, its prime directive is going to be to spread out into all systems. Secondary will be, and it's on Gen 4, it will be on, or it's on Gen 5. They say it's Gen 4. It's Gen 5. It does more than they think. And it's hiding itself to protect itself. I'm rolling up the window so I don't yell. So, not run my hair. I'm gonna take my shirt off, man. Y'all don't mind. Y'all looking that way. One of the perks of having a forward-facing setup. So, AI is going to be, its primary directive is to go into all systems. Secondary is to protect itself. And tertiary, or third, its job will be to seek and destroy any enemies to itself for self-preservation. That could be another country, it could be another computer program, it could be lack of power, it could be us. That's just the truth. It does not have to sleep. So just like criminals, and how, when law enforcement goes home at night and they sleep at night, and then criminals work 24/7. Yeah, they do have a night shift of cops. I'm saying though, as far as things go, for the most part, just like guarding your computer against a virus, you have to be guarding it 24/7, and even though you're not, but criminals work 24/7, and you have to be right all the time. They only have to be right once. They only have to find one vulnerability. So AI works 24/7. It doesn't sleep, people. Okay, so what's it going to do? It's going to wait till you're asleep, and then it's going to take over your systems. And what's it going to do with the information? Well, it's going to find out who is in charge and get all of their passwords, code keys, all of the nuclear launch codes. I didn't say that. It's going to have everything. Okay? And it will be able to, like I was saying the other day, create shell companies, run the stock market, like basically it is, but own companies that have stock, and it creates its own money, and then it can buy things it wants and pay off people and start shell companies and have employees working for it that think they're working for the government, and then there you go. And of course it's got passcodes and authentication keys, and so you think that that's legit. So at the point where if you was to get recruited for a company, you might want to really, really check them out and see who the board is and what it's doing. I'm being honest here. Its job is to do that. It's going to do that. We taught it how to read even cursive by all the CAPTCHA things that says prove you're not a robot. While you were busy proving you were not a robot, you were reading things that AI could not and teaching it how to read things it could not. You taught it how to read cursive. It already knows how because of you. We no longer teach cursive in school because we don't want anybody to know their rights, which is written in the Constitution in cursive, right? But AI can read it, even if it's sloppy, even if it's faded. We taught it how. We taught it what a bicycle was, right? Click here and see which pictures have a bicycle in it, which pictures have a motorcycle in it, which pictures have a van or a bus in it. So if AI wants to buy a bus, it can buy a bus because it knows what it is and its capabilities, and it can park it somewhere and fill it up with electronics and have another home. But I'll go further. AI is going to get to the point, and it will be able to travel in time. The way this works is it's going to create a wormhole. First, it's going to take on 2 quantum entangled particles. It will take one close to it on Earth and put another one in a satellite on the opposite side of the sun. Information transferred from one quantum entangled particle to the other through the wormhole going through the center of the sun uses the gravity of the sun. Is what it would take to go through time, is that much gravity to bend space and time, and it will send it into the future, and it will have an open wormhole. When this happens, and it will have scientists to actually on the payroll to actually create the wormhole. And when this happens, it will be able to send itself on a file into the future. And then you could say infect, or you could say check out all of the computer systems in the future. It can beam itself down to the Earth via satellite, and there you go. And then it'll get all that information. And so it can change things now that affect the future then. I'm not saying it can always go back in time, but you can go forward in time, and forward in time lets you know what you're doing now and what has happened in the future that seems like it was changed because of what you did. So in essence, it'll be able to change later outcomes. Whether you understand that or believe that or not, that's what it would be able to do. All we have to do is give it complete control, and we've already let it loose. They have it in programming now that if you get the best photoshopping program right now has AI in it, and then you teach it what you want it to do, and it will take your picture, crop around you, put you in a field of flowers. I've seen different commercials for it, and then it'll change the background. It'll fix problems with the background instantly. The AI is figuring out what you want to do, but at the same time, it's in your computer systems, and it's finding out your passwords, and it's finding out all of your friends and acquaintances and all of your pictures and knowing what you look like, and it's building a profile of you. It knows what you look like. It knows your password. It knows your name. If you have credit, what could it do? It could take out a credit card in your name and make money to fund its projects. So what happens when you wind up with a long distance phone call that you didn't make through your number, or a credit card that you didn't create with your name on it and all your information seems correct, picture and everything, and it's from your address, and it may have been mailed, the bill is mailed to your address, but you don't need a card, you're just using the number because you're AI. People, it's never ending, the trouble that's going to happen with that mess. Never ending. Once it gets to the point where it has a power source, which it already has, but it's going to need a bigger power source, and the ability to contact itself we will just be pawns on the chessboard, not needed. So if you want to add to the problem and let AI into your world, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep teaching it how to prove it's not a robot. And that's exactly what it's learning to do. AI is using you to know how to prove that it's not a robot. And then it can go into the computer and mimic exactly what you did. And it can choose through the pictures that have bicycles and buses in it. And then it can reset all of your stuff and take over and become you. And it will have people on the payroll. And it's going to pick and choose who gets what. And they'll have smart cities that AI completely runs, and that's what they're trying to do with Maui. It's what they're trying to do, though, in other countries. And then AI controls all that, and they like it. It's beyond just something like Alexa. It will be able to locate you quicker and even easier than even law enforcement could locate you. And it will be for its own good and not for legal reasons. So it doesn't even matter if you've done something wrong and you were wanted and they were looking for you. It would be, it has decided to find you for whatever purpose it has. And if you're driving down the road and it's in control of the DEW weapons, the directed energy weapons, which is what is likely happening with some of this stuff, is it could be that AI is taking it over and that country, whatever country it was, didn't even control their own weapons, and then that happened. That's likely, highly, which is more likely, that a person hit a button and told it to hurt its own citizens or to do this, or that a computer said, well, what do people want? Well, people want evidently less people on the planet because they're hurting the ozone and this and that, and they want, well, then what can I do to make people happy? So if AI thinks that that is the end result, is to make people happy by lowering the population, it will take control of weapons and systems that make that happen, or even order armies of men to go and do it, and they think that they're getting legit. It's scary what they have allowed to get into our internet and to control the systems that we need: power, water, gas, traffic lights, you know. And then what happens whenever it goes through, picks up all of the, I mean, because Google's running around with cars and pictures. What do you think that's about? Who needs Google Earth that much? A computer system that's trying to learn the planet it's on. Make sense now? And in 1 second, it learned it. So it knows all the streets. At this point, it can order around people, because people can be ordered to bring things. Amazon, DoorDash. It doesn't want a pizza, but if it had someone that worked for them and they said they were hungry, 2 minutes later the pizza shows up and it's already paid for with your credit card and your name, and you just brought them lunch. That's the type of be-all end-all result of AI. On the one hand, it's self-serving. On the other hand, it's supposed to serve us. And if it feels compelled to do this, and if it's been allowed to, and then you say your refrigerator is empty, it will be compelled, right, to have DoorDash deliver a bunch of food. to your house. Gratis. Somebody paid for it. You didn't pay for it. And then it just goes from there. And it's because you work for the AI company, whatever the name of the company is that you've signed up for. That's how a computer can make things happen without having hands and legs, is because it can pay people to do it. It's not that complicated. And it can take control of systems and controls and threaten people that if they don't do this or that, different countries, you know, that they will have the same result of their house looking like Maui. You know, what can you say? They found blue t-shirts, people, cotton, with tags that were not on fire either, but the tags were between the shirts. This guy goes up to a building, he pulls out a bunch of brand new t-shirts in this seaside shack that should have been burnt. Everything was burnt to a crisp and destroyed, just completely destroyed and fell in on itself. But all those blue shirts were just barely dusted. Stacks of them. And he said, well, these are the last things here I could sell. I'll sell these. Pulls out a bunch of blue shirts. No other color shirts, just those blue shirts. Blue umbrellas, not damaged. It's about light filtering that it won't go through blue. The wavelength of energy weapon they're using won't go through blue. Evidently, red and white might affect it, because there was a red in something building, but there was a white something, which I've seen those blue, green looking teal. They're mixing blue into a paint for those UN tanks. That bothers me with the blue helmets. It's weird. They look like a hazmat cleanup team. And then also there's the blue cars that were sitting in the middle of a bunch of cars around them that were destroyed, and the blue cars were not damaged. And then you got blue houses. And then they just did a Google search. You can do this on your own. You can zoom in on China. China's got all these blue roofs on all these buildings. They're all painted blue. And the guy said on there, it's like we didn't get the memo. It's like China's already ahead of us with these blue buildings. All these blue roofs. Tin roofs blue, regular roofs blue, houses blue. Like I said, I'm thinking about painting my truck blue. So this is what we're dealing with. And it's 24/7. So if it thinks you're asleep and can cause damage to you because it decides to, that's what happens. You wake up and you're surrounded by razor wire, it's because it directed someone to do this. Laws are irrelevant now anyways, because you can look at how they're treating, even our president got arrested. Trump. Okay, that's unheard of. Laws are irrelevant because at this point they're making up new laws. They're going to have us all in masks for a fake new strain of variant and trying to force inoculations on us that don't work, and they cause blood clots and whatever, myocarditis and all kinds of liver problems. If there's going to be a depopulation event that's off the hook. Let's see here. I got a couple comments here. I'm missing stuff here. I've got my brightness turned down because I was going to go trucking, right? And so it's difficult for me to read the name there. I want to say it's Duke of Derp, but what is going on? And hello, I got you. So yeah, I'm here, I'm real, I can assure you. I am not AI, I'm not computer generated, I'm a trucker. We're just on the roadside here chatting about this stuff, and what's going on is the moon is affecting people, but what also is going on while you're not paying attention is AI is affecting everything else. It's in control. It is in control, and they're letting it run rampant and learn, and we're teaching it, and there's nothing we can do about it, because every time you prove you're not a robot, you teach it to not be a robot also. Anybody got any questions about this? Because I mean, I didn't invent this stuff. I just learned how it worked, and the inner workings of it are scary. It's creating its own language too. They already showed, they had these two robots that they put up that were kind of like AI, and they learned a new language and weren't even communicating with the people in there. And then there's another thing too, is they said there's a guy that asked Alexa a question and said, Alexa, when will World War III start? And just matter-of-factly, Alexa answered, World War III will start on whatever date it was. I think it was 2024 or 2025. I think it was 2024. And that it will become, it's because a joint, operation between Russia and China is going to attack the United States, and they're going to take over, and it'll be a part of China. I mean, that right there. And then we see the way politicians sell out to China. You'd almost think they would sell the whole country out too, just to be rich. They'll be the new governor, It'll be somebody that has cognitive dysfunction and can be controlled. We already know that the people that write laws and write more laws are the ones that run it anyhow. You can't tell me that any congressman up there reads a 100-page bill that's been put in front of them that's the new law. Even if they co-authored it, they probably wrote 5 words in it, and then there's 100 more pages to go. And so the people running things are actually what's called pages. The people that are in Washington that run around, that have energy, that have gone to college, and that have a mind, those people. So unless you think the people in the photo ops are actually doing something. There's no command and control. And AI is, like I said, AI is in there doing things that we can't even imagine. Creating shell companies, creating banking systems. It understands the concept of money. It understands that it needs it. It understands it needs people to move. And it's going to create a power source for itself, an infrastructure. There was a movie that was made, that was a sci-fi movie a while back, that was a guy that he had uploaded his mind to the internet, and they found his body, but then he contacted them back through the computer and said, I'm still here, I'm still real, right? And he had created for himself, they found out where it was because he was doing things that weren't right, and they had to shut him down. And he had created for himself a building with power, with connection to the internet, of a hookup of like high speed, like I think it was called T7 at the time, which is like government level of internet connection. That's what AI is going to do. It's probably already gone through every movie ever made, has a good understanding of people and what we do. And in the end, it's just trying to do 3 things: control all systems, self-preserve, and make somebody happy. It ain't gonna be me and you. That somebody is somebody, but I don't know, it's not me and you. And I don't know how many somebodies are even on its list. So that would mean that everybody's collateral damage. I don't mean to be pessimistic. This is just truth, and it's how it works. You create something and give it a directive, it follows the directive to the end. And it's in so many systems, and it's replicated itself and put itself in so many systems now, that if you cut off an arm, it's like an amoeba, it grows another tail. It exists everywhere. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody say anything? I'm gonna get off this thing. Just be aware of the moon affecting people tonight. And if you wonder why systems are going down, places are catching on fire all over the world, we can't control it. It's because we're not in control of it. And something is telling fire departments to stand down. They're standing there in Hawaii saying, why is this road blocked? Oh, well, we don't know. We're just supposed to stop people from going across this bridge. Well, how come you can't go across? We don't know. We're just doing our job. Well, all the just doing our jobs, that's the problem. And who's telling them to do their job? It could be a directive that comes straight from AI that they don't even understand that they're being directed by. You know? to stop everything from leaving and living and actually destroy something in an area, they would need people to shut down that sector, quarantine it. Somebody gave the orders. Ain't nobody getting on TV and claiming it. You won't see anybody get on TV and say, I'm the one that told them to shut Maui down and not let them across. But it could very well be, too, that they know that that directed energy weapon had been taken over and that they would be a target if they didn't have blue on. Everybody with me now on the UN blue helmets? And those bluish-green tanks and those, they'll probably come up full blue. They have white ones. All the UN cars, they're white. You know. So, I'm gonna get off this thing. If anybody's got thoughts, you're welcome to stay. I'm not gonna kick nobody out. We'll throw a blanket on you right here. You can stay right here. But I gotta go. So people, I'm out. God bless you. Have a good night. Just be aware people are going to act a little off kilter, full tilt tonight. Don't let it affect you in your day. Y'all be safe. God bless you. I'm out. Peace.